Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends, and yeah, guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family and had the powers of Cell Max. So, yeah, guys, hopefully, you guys enjoyed the previous part of this series, and if you guys have not seen it, please, guys, check it out. You guys will definitely like it. And yeah, guys, I would like to tell you guys about my new manhwa recap channel by the name of Manhwa Legend. So if you guys are interested in manhwas as well, then check this channel out. The link is in the description below. I have already surpassed 400 subscribers here and wish to achieve 1000 subscribers. So please guys subscribe to this channel as well. The link is in the description below. It would be a lot of help to me. So yeah guys, subscribe to that channel. So without wasting any more of your time, let us start this video. So last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto have decided to pay a visit to the hidden stone village. After all, it was time for him to have a bit of fun as he decided to come to the hidden stone village, while on the other hand the Jinchuriki of the hidden stone was none other than as Han decided to challenge Naruto, realizing that who he was and how dangerous he could actually be, as Naruto was disguising himself. As Naruto decided to fight against Han, who decided to use all the power of his Biju, as well as the Jonins and Chunins which were present at the time to the village to attack Naruto. Their main fighting force has already left to help Tsuchikage in their plan to attack Konoha. So at the moment, they did not have a lot of shinobis protecting the village, but there was still a, you can say, a Jinchuriki and some of the elite Jonins present there just in case. So they decided to fight against Naruto, but Naruto simply destroyed them. After one, Han, realizing that how there was little he could do, decided to sacrifice his life and use the forbidden technique, the forbidden mode of the Biju's chakra. He called it the Guardian mode and decided to use its power, realizing that he could suck off the life force of Naruto with the fighting. But Naruto was a bit surprised but decided to have a bit of fun. But in the end of the day, even with the Guardian mode, he was not even a match for a full form of the QB. So Naruto simply ended Han. Afterward, he decided to destroy the hidden stone village. The civilians were already evacuated by some of the shinobis, but Naruto cared little about them. After all, he was mainly here for fun and wanted to fight against strong shinobis, and he was a bit bored about it as he was wondering what would be the face of the Tsuchikage would be when he realized that how his beloved village was no more. As Naruto simply laughed and decided to leave the hidden stone village and head towards Konoha. After all, it was time for him to, you can say, finally participate in the Chunin exam, as Naruto was rushing towards Konoha when he realized that he had sensed some of the chakra signatures that were present on the border of Konoha. As Naruto smirked, realizing that these were the forces of the hidden stone and the hidden lightning village, and decided to use one of the techniques he wanted to try out, making mini Narutos with his power, as they decided to wreak havoc in the camps of the hidden stone and the hidden lightning village. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. So if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. And yeah guys, if you guys are new to this channel and if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. And yeah, the link of my Instagram is also in the description below, so please follow me on Instagram. So without wasting any more of your time, let us start the story from here. As one of the stone shinobi greeted his state and glared towards Naruto, well, the mini form of Naruto, who was now laughing and looking towards the beaten form of his brethren, as Naruto, who was simply sitting there, had a huge smirk on his face. After all, it was a lot of fun. Well, these people were truly weaklings in his eyes. 5,000 shinobis. He had already covered the whole area, engulfing the whole area with his power, so that the main forces of Konoha would not notice anything going on here. With the use of so much chakra, it was, you can say, easy for other shinobis to detect it, but because of Naruto's technique, it was simply not possible. As hidden stone village shinobi spat towards Naruto. You monster, how could you, how dare you? As Naruto simply laughed as he said, well, let's not just stop there with the hypocrisy. After all, we both know that what you're gonna do after you reach to Konoha. So there is nothing wrong of me doing the same to you anyways. After all, I am a loyal Konoha shinobi. As Naruto said that with a straight face, but then all of the mini Narutos who were, you can say, now looking towards Naruto, as all of them at the same time burst into pure laughter as the Hidden Stone village tried to say something, but one of the mini Naruto simply kicked his face off and ending his life as Naruto simply shook his head. The same scene was going on in the Hidden Lightning Village camp as you can say Darui could not believe his eyes. He has tried everything he had. He was a strong shinobi, a powerful existence even in the Lightning Village, and he was the direct disciple of the third Raikage. He had used his black lightning and all the techniques he could, but in the end of the day, there was little he could do about it. All of his power was no match for these little brats or whatever these things were, as Darui was on one knee, panting hard as he glared towards Naruto, who was now smirking towards him. Around him were simply the unconscious and many dead bodies of the Hidden Lightning Village shinobis as Darui glared towards him as he said, "What do you want from us?" as he yelled, completely, you can say, forgetting his casual as Naruto simply looked towards him with a smirk on his face as he said, "Nothing much. I was mainly here for fun, and you guys just met me on my way. Well, it is time for me to return to my beloved home and participate in a Chunin exam. After all, it is important for the progress of all the shinobi villages. You should understand it." As Darui wanted to yell, wanted to scream at something, but there was little he could do about it. As he was about to say something, but one of the mini Narutos grabbed his face, and just like that, a huge, you can say, explosion took place as Naruto simply sighed. Well, that was something. At least these people entertained him for some time, but it was time for him to return to the Chunin exam. After saying that, he started to fly in the air, and the mini Naruto completely turned into energy and rushed towards Naruto once again, getting absorbed inside of him. As Naruto simply smirked, and his body once again rushed towards the camp of the Hidden Stone Village. Same thing was happening in the camp of, you can say, Hidden Stone Village as Naruto and his clone disappeared into energy, and they centered. They once again they merged together, making the complete form. As after Naruto rushed towards the direction of the hidden village of Konoha, as finally, while on the other hand Minato was, you can say, finally had decided to take his seat in the Chunin exam, as he let out a sigh. After all, the things are not going exactly as he planned. Menma was just getting difficult by the day. He has killed off one of the shinobi of the hidden, you can say, village of lightning, and that would definitely cause a lot of problem for him. The council was already in uproar and wanting demands to him, but Minato simply shrugged it off. After all, he was the Hokage and his word was final, especially that Fugaku, that smug look on his eyes. Minato could not tolerate it. He had to do something about the Uchihas as well as Danzo, who were now making things difficult for him, trying to, you can say, put counsel against him. As Minato simply shook his head, he already had talked with Menma and he had already given the artificial seals which he had created for Menma and Mito for them to use one level of the Flying Raijin that should help them. As Minato simply shrugged, he has already given up on Menma and Mito. His next target is Naruto. Hopefully, with his talent, he would be able to, you can say, use it for his own advantage so that he could always be in the position of the Hokage. As Minato smirked at that, as he quickly noticed the chakra signature that were now approaching. And finally, it was none other than Tsuchikage who was now glaring towards Minato. But Minato gave him a smile. "Well, Lord Tsuchikage, it is good for me to see you. After all, I wasn't sure that you would be able to arrive, given your old age." As Tsuchikage glared towards Minato. Youngsters do not have any respect for their elders. But anyways, I am mainly here for my shinobis to win this Chunin exam and show the might of the Hidden Stone Village. After saying that, he decided to take his seat. Unknowing to Minato, who had his eyes closed and smiling, Tsuchikage smirked and looked towards one of the direction where he had hidden some of the shinobi's elites he has brought with him, which are now already present in Konoha. As he smirked at that, he already had made plans along with the Raikage and the, you can say, the Sanin, Orochimaru, as well as the Kazekage, who had already decided to join forces, three major powers and one small village, and you can say cage level 4, cage level shinobis like the Kazekage, the Raikage, the Tsuchikage, and Orochimaru himself. He was confident that they could take on Minato and end Konoha. After some time, the Raikage also decided to arrive as he glared towards Minato, but decided to greet nonetheless and decided to take his seat after, you can say, once again, glaring towards Minato. He was always jealous of Minato. After all, he was just a civilian shinobi, and it always angered Raikage, who was always trained by the best of the best from the very young age from a prominent clan. So he was able to become the Raikage, but Minato becoming the Hokage was unseen by anyone. After all, from the very start of all the hidden villages, there was none civilian. Cage and Minato was the first one, and they could not tolerate it, as Minato simply looked towards the Kasakage, who has also arrived, but Minato was a bit confused. After all, he was feeling something strange about the Kasakage, but simply shook his head. After some time, all the shinobis has already gathered as Genma looked around. One child was missing. Where was that Naruto brat? He has already heard many things about this Naruto kid, but he simply shook his head. It seemed that he would be running late, but it doesn't matter. After all, his match is not exactly the first. So, after some time, Minato gave a small speech about how the Chunin exam is for, you can say, cooperation between the villages for the peace of the shinobi world. Even Minato could not believe the bullshit coming out of his own mouth, while on the other hand, even the cages were sneaking inside, ready to strike at any time. After all, they already had the perfect plan. They have already gathered their respective Jinchurikis. The Kazekage had decided to brought Gaara and Tsuchikage had Roshi, while on the other hand, the Raikage has B, and you can say his two-tailed Jinchuriki, four Jinchurikis present here. They were confident that they could take on anything, while on the other hand, Minato also noticed that Naruto was not there, but he was confident that he would be able to arrive just in time. So he decided to take his seat ready to see the whole battle. While on the other hand, Genma speak up, alright, the first match is gonna be Mito Namikaze versus the Neji Hyuga, as you can say, Neji and Mito finally arrived and their battle began. Well, this battle was mainly one-sided as Mito was easily able to destroy the defense of, you can say, Neji with the Rasengan, as it was completely one-sided battle. The, you can say, Hyuga clan was not exactly happy about it as they were glaring in the direction of, you can say, the match, and you can say the head of the Hyuga clan was glaring towards Minato. After all, it was no secret to the higher, you can say, council members that how all the matches were exactly planned by the respective villages who are holding the Chunin exam. So he was confident that Minato had did this because he had decided not to take side of Minato, as Minato had a, you can say, smile on his face. After all, he wanted to show off the power of the Uzumaki Namikaze clan. Well, mainly his own power, the power of his daughter and the Jinchuriki, as Neji was beaten to a pulp, as Minato has already given instruction to Mito to did this, as Mito smirked, defeating Neji and decided to take her place. As you can say, some other matches started to go on, and finally it was time as Genma speak up. Alright, the next match is gonna be Ni Yugito versus Naruto Namikaze, as after saying that, Ni Yugito had decided to come to the stage, while on the other hand, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. As Chanma frowned as he looked towards the direction of Minato, who also was looking serious a little bit. But before he could say something, suddenly, you can say, a burst of energy, a surge of energy started to shine in the sky as a yellow energy started to descend like a star in the center of the Chunin exam, surprising many people. And just like that, boom, the whole Chunin exam shook for a second, and finally, at the center of the light, Naruto was standing there. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, as Naruto thought in his mind as Genma looked towards Naruto a bit surprised. After all, there was little information about Naruto. The mainly thing they know that how he was good at taijutsu. Other than that, there was little information. But this could be some of the techniques he must have learned, they thought in their mind. While on the other hand, Minato smirked at that, as he had, you can say, purposely told Genma to say the name Naruto Namakase because he wanted to re-enter Naruto into the Namakase clan. Kushina would not accept the Uzumaki thing, but he had the jurisdiction over the Namakase name, as Naruto also noticed it, but simply shrugged it off. After all, he had little interest in the internal politics of Konoha as he looked towards Yugito, who had a serious expression on her face. She has already gotten the orders to kill Naruto Namakase at every cost, regardless what happened. After all, she already know about the plan of the other villages to end Konoha today. As Genma looked towards both of them. Alright, since you have decided to arrive, so are you guys ready? As he looked towards both of them, as both of them simply nodded, as Genma said, alright, begin. After saying that, he jumped away as Yugito quickly, you can say, activated her first stage as her eyes changed into the, you can say, eyes of the cat as she rushed towards Naruto, ready to end him before he could do anything. After all, the things she has heard about his taijutsu and speed were not to be underestimated, and from the information they have gotten, he was able to go toe to toe with, you can say, two-tail of Menma, so she had to be careful and end him as quick as possible before he could use any of his speed and power. But to her surprise, Naruto simply grabbed her hand and, you can say, about to slam her to the ground, but she was able to use her elasticity to, you can say, dodge from there as she quickly jumped away, looking towards Naruto and started to go through hand signs fire style as she released Phoenix Flower technique, as these fire were pure blue as all the fire rushed towards Naruto, who had a smirk on his face as Naruto said fire style Phoenix Flower Jutsu. After saying that, white fire came from his mouth. Well, he did not even knew the technique, but he had the perfect control of all the elements, even the wood style and the other sub-elements. He just wanted to show off a little bit as Naruto's white fire quickly overpowered Yugito, who was surprised after all. She had a biju made up of completely fire, so there was, you can say, not many people who can use white fire, while on the other hand, in the cage box, many people were surprised. After all, the information they have gotten was always that how Naruto was good at, you can say, taijutsu. Kushina could not believe her eyes. After all, she has given specific orders to Kakashi not teach Naruto any of the ninjutsu. After all, she knew that Naruto's taijutsu and techniques were overwhelming, even able to reach that of the cage level. If he knew ninjutsu, then he would be completely a monster, and she cannot afford it to protect Menma and Mito. She had to stop Naruto's progress at every cost as she looked towards Kakashi, who was also looking confused. He has given Naruto some ninjutsu, even though he was warned by Kushina, but main techniques he had given were always defensive techniques like C rank or even B rank techniques. He could not dare to give a genuine, no matter how talented, A rank technique. Well, Chidori was the exception for, you can say, both of the Uchihas, but he simply shook his head as he ignored the glare of Kushina while looking towards Naruto. Something was off. He could not see the hand signs, but he could tell that something was really off here. As Naruto's technique quickly overpowered Yugito's and rushed towards her, as Yugito quickly, you can say, started to dodge around the fireball's techniques, showing that how she was a Jinchuriki, how easily she was using the abilities of her Biju, as one tail cloak was completely engulfed her body, as she was able to dodge the techniques as she looked toward the direction where Naruto was. But to her surprise, no one was there. Hey, are you looking for someone? As she was surprised, someone said this to her ear as she looked back and slashed her nails towards the direction of the noise. But to her surprise, she hit nothing but air. As she was confused, hey, you missed it. As she quickly tried to jump away, she was confused what was going on here, and once again no one was there, as once again a voice was heard to her ears, as once again she decided to slash at the direction, but no one was there. While on the other hand, to the eyes of the normal Chunins and even some of the Jonins, the only thing they were seeing that how Yugito was slashing in the air while no one was there, and Naruto was, you can say, no longer in the stadium, while to the eyes of the, you can say, cage level shinobis, they could see, even the elite Junins could see blurs at there, and they already knew what was going on here, but they were confused at the same time as Minato had a proud smile on his face. After all, he was a cage level shinobi who specifies in the speed aspect. So he was able to see Naruto moving and how he was taunting the child there, while on the other hand, Raikage greeted his state. Once again, a speed shinobi has arrived here, mocking him and his right to be the fastest shinobi in the whole world. As he glared towards Minato, wondering if it was some other form of flying Raijin. After all, he could see, but it was, even to his eyes, mainly blurs, and he could not see the yellow flash, so he was wondering if it was some new kind of flying Raijin, while on the other hand, even, you can say, Tsuchikage was confused and angry at the same time. This only proves his decision to end Konoha as soon as possible was truly true. Otherwise, such kind of monsters could not be allowed to grow to become even stronger. As he looked toward the direction of the Menma and Mito, the children, the Jinchurikis of Konoha, Yugito could not believe her, you can say, what was going on here, as she could not understand how is this even possible. She was using the one tail. It seemed that she has to use all of her power. Quickly, a second tail arrived and her chakra intensified. She was only the Jinchuriki of the two tails, so therefore she does not have the second form of the Biju transformation, which mainly begins at the fourth stage. So she only had two tail cloak. As she glared toward the direction, she was able to see a blur, so she rushed toward the direction, hoping that she would be able to get him. As she once again slashed towards Naruto, where she saw blur, but to her surprise, Naruto simply grabbed her hand, and she was a bit confused. After all, her chakra was like acid to anyone other than her, so why was he able to grab her hand just like it? And she smirked at that, thinking that how his hand must be burning and he's trying to show off. As once again she tried to slash with her other arm, but Naruto once again grabbed her. As Naruto smirked, your chakra, it is rather interesting. I always like a Biju's chakra, even though it is not as good as the Osusuke fruit. As Yugito was confused, what was this guy talking about? But before she could say anything, her eyes widened, the chakra cloak started to disappear at a rapid speed. As Yugito's eyes widened and she started to get on her knees. She was feeling weak by the second as Naruto, who was looking towards Yugito with a smirk on his face, while on the other hand, Raikage could not understand. His anger started to flare up. Minato, what is the meaning of this? As he glared towards Minato, even Minato was a bit confused why the chakra cloak was disappearing. Could it be some kind of technique to, you can say, subdue a Biju? Could Naruto have some seals encrypted in his hand to subdue the chakra? Not even for a second he thought that Naruto was absorbing the chakra. After all, it was literally impossible for anyone other than Jinchurikis to absorb the chakra of a Biju. As Naruto looked towards Yugito, who was now looking towards Naruto in utter shock. I have fought your debtors, and even though I am mainly here for fun, you're not of my taste, so sleep, beauty. After saying that, Naruto simply flipped Yugito on her forehead and she started to slam to the wall at such a rapid speed that the whole wall started to crack, started to appear on the wall. As with just one shot, she was already unconscious, shocking many people who were present there. As Naruto simply started to walk away, as many people were surprised, Kushina could not believe her eyes. How is this possible? After all, the main point for Menma and Mito to fight off against Naruto, if he ever to become hostile towards them, was the power of the Biju. But if Naruto can subdue chakra just like that, it would truly be danger for Menma and Mito. She could not understand it. After all, she could not sense any ceilings, and even though if Naruto knew ninjutsu, learning ceiling without proper skills and knowledge, no matter how much potential you have, was literally impossible. So could it be that? As her eyes widened, after all, in the Uzumaki clan, many people have different, you can say, abilities. The main abilities were like her chakra chains to subdue any Biju's chakra. Could it be that Naruto has some kind of Kikigenkai from the Uzumaki clan? No, it was simply not possible. Why? Why could Naruto have it when he was the one to end the Uzumaki clan? She quickly shook her head. She has to investigate it as soon as possible. She cannot have led Naruto to attack Menma and Mito as she thought in her mind, and determination came to her eyes once again. While on the other hand, Menma gritted his teeth. He was already, you can say, yelled at by his father, and you can say how his father was disappointed in him, even though he had tried to tell him many times that how he wanted to be with Kiyomi, but Minato decided to yell at him as Menma could not understand it and he was getting angrier, and that was the reason he had decided to use some of his power in the Chunin exam, third stage, but he could not understand why that guy was so weak to kill off with a simple Rasengan. But Menma simply shook his head. He was training hard with Jiraiya, his godfather, and he was confident that he has become strong enough to take on Naruto and defeat him. No matter what, he will end him in the Chunin exam. He was already told that the killing was allowed in the Chunin exam, so no matter how much Minato tried to yell at him and say that how he was disappointed, Menma believed that he did not do anything wrong as the killing was allowed, so he did it under the rules. As Menma smirked at that, after all, he was working on a special technique that his godfather Jiraiya has taught him, and how he was able to make some progress in the technique and even able to up his power with his Biju chakra. As Menma smirked, all it would take was single hit and that would end Naruto, no matter how powerful and how fast he truly is. As a smirk at that, he will show him the might of the chosen one, just like Jiraiya had told him. While on the other hand, Mito had an indifferent look on her face, even though she did not like Naruto. It was not like she was out for his blood, but he was truly powerful. She was also a bit scared and confused of that chakra suppressing technique. He was so easily able to subdue the chakra of the two tails, but she quickly shook her head. She was not a child. After all, she was 16-year-old, even though Naruto can suppress the chakra of the Biju, but there was a difference between the two tail and the nine tail. So she was confident as after some time the matches started to go on and on as Kiyomi was able to fight off against Shikamaru, and in the end she was able to win, but Shikamaru was able to drain a lot of her chakra. So therefore she was a bit weakened, but she was able to win against Shikamaru and even able to win against the daughter of the Kazekage, the Temari of the Sand, and she was able to win, while on the other hand, Sasuke was also able to win his match, but in the end, he had to fight off against Menma. Even though he even tried to use Chidori, Menma was able to defeat him, and finally, it was time. As you can say, Genma looked towards the matches as he simply nodded as he smiled towards us audience that was gathered there. Alright, the next match shall be between, you can say, two of the outstanding members of our village, which are gonna be Naruto Namakase versus Menma Uzumaki Namakase. As everyone was surprised, but applause started to begin. After all, it was not like they hated Naruto or anything like that. No, he was not considered a Jinchuriki, not he was. So not many people were against Naruto, and Menma was the prince of the village. So many people were cheering for him, but some of the people were also cheering for Naruto. So it was gonna be a great battle as Naruto finally decided to enter into the match. This match was truly nothing to him because in his eyes, these people, these matches, these plays were nothing but fun. Nothing more than that. Sport. While on the other hand, Menma was ready for anything. He was in for the match of his life. He's gonna show to everyone, to his father, that how much deserving he was. After all, he has already learned the Flying Raijin, the first stage anyways, but he was confident that with this power and speed, he would be able to outsmart and outspeed and outpower Naruto in every aspect. So he smirked at that. This will show Kiyomi that how only he was worthy of her. As he smirked and glared towards Naruto at the same time, as Naruto finally entered into the stadium as Genma looked towards both of them. So, are you guys ready? As Menma simply nodded, as Naruto simply smirked, as Menma said, alright then, let this match begin. After saying that, he jumped away, while in the cage box as Minato looked towards the match with a serious expression on his face. Inside, he was wondering what would be the result of this match after all. Menma was specifically training with Jiraiya and Tsunade, and even Kushina was upping both of their training, and he has learned some of the forbidden techniques. Even the Jiraiya had tried to, you can say, hide it from him, but Minato was the Hokage. So even if Menma and Mito were not his children, he would always keep an eye on both of them. After all, they were the Jinchuriki. So Minato already knew about the technique Jiraiya and Kushina has taught them with his crystal ball. So he was, you can say, intrigued. Well, it seemed that no matter what the result of today's battle will be, Minato will be getting praise. After all, both of them were exactly his sons. So no matter who wins, Minato will be the one getting the praise. But he was wondering who is gonna win in this match. While on the other hand, Raikage glared towards Naruto's direction. He was, you can say, wondering what he should do about this Naruto kid. He has learned about his taijutsu skills and that, but the reports only said that how he was good at taijutsu, but his speed, it was already around cage level, and Raikage could not accept him becoming even faster and stronger. So no matter what, today is the day. This Naruto Namakase along with Minato Namakase, both of them are gonna die. He's gonna bring Menma and Mito to his village, even though he has made some deal with the, you can say, Tsuchikage, but he's gonna steal Menma and Mito in the secret, subdue them, and bring them back with three Jinchurikis. Under his command, his village will become stronger. He is not gonna allow the Tsuchikage or Orochimaru or Kasekage to interfere in his plans for future as a smirk in his mind, while on the other hand, Tsuchikage had similar thoughts in his mind, while on the other hand, in the mind of Orochimaru, he was looking towards Naruto a bit intrigued. After all, he has learned little about him, but the battle in the forest of death was still clear in his mind. This kid was not just good at ninjutsu, no, he was truly a monster, a being that did not belong in this world. So he was already wondering what he should do to subdue Naruto and bring him to his side. Otherwise, he will truly be a threat to his plans. Even if he were to, you can say, conquer and destroy Konoha today, he will always be a problem. So no matter what, he should end him today. He already had plans for that. His reanimations were already ready. While on the other hand, Naruto looked towards Menma and started to yawn. Well, stupid little brother, why don't you begin your little, you can say, battle? After all, you try to attack me, I will try to dodge it, and then we are gonna put up some show, and then I will defeat you, and you go back to your place where you came from. This way, you will have some face to show to the village. So, how's the plan? As Menma glared towards him, do you honestly believe that you're stronger than me? Huh? You are already dreaming, Naruto. I am training for this day. Today is the day. I'm gonna show you the might of my being and show you that how I am only the one truly worthy of Kiyomi. As he glared towards Naruto after saying that, as Naruto was a bit confused about this whole thing. After all, he could already sense Menma's chakra and his power level, and that was nowhere near his own. But he was always intrigued about it. So let's see what his little brother is truly capable of. As he looked towards Menma, alright Menma, why don't you begin the match then? As Menma sat with pleasure as his eyes changed into that of Kyobi, but something was off this time as Menma in the eyes of Menma, rather than a slate, a, you can say, vertical slate also started to appear as he has entered into the Sage mode, combining it with the power of the QB. Now Naruto was truly intrigued. Already, he could already sense the power of the natural chakra, and he has already tasted it with a lot of the Utsutskis he has absorbed, as well as many of the chakra fruits he has eaten. Even the bijus, to some extent, are made up of the natural energy. So, he was wondering what Menma would truly be capable of with the power of the natural chakra. As Menma vanished from the eyes of many, as shattering the ground beneath him as he appeared in front of Naruto. His fist was already in the air as he slammed it to the face of Naruto. As Naruto was pushed back a little, but he simply smirked towards Menma. Well, little brother, that actually tickled as Menma did not pay any attention as he quickly opened his hand and put his hand to the chest of Naruto. After doing that, he quickly jumped away, looking towards Naruto with a calm expression on his face as Naruto could already tell the seal he has placed on him. After all, he could sense the chakra inside of it, while on the other hand Minato frowned at it. He could already tell what Menma did. It seemed that Menma's control over natural chakra was truly interesting, but he has already sensed the clone which Menma has put there and dispelled it to enter into the state of the sage mode as well as the power of the QB, and he has already placed a seal on Naruto. So let's see how this battle is truly gonna be. As a smirk came to his face, but he quickly concealed it as Menma said, "Alright, let this match begin." After saying that, he vanished in a yellow flash while in the stadium. All the people were in uproar as they all of them saw the yellow flash as they were shocked and surprised at the same time. While on the other hand, Raikage could not believe his eyes. How is this even possible? He was already worrying about that Naruto kid using the flying Raijin, and now even this Menma kid knows it. As he looked towards the direction of Mito, he was confident that even that girl knew it. Damn it, they have to subdue them no matter what. If they were able to teleport away, then it would be hard for them to capture it. As he gave a signal, as some of his Ambu who were hidden away already inside of Konoha quickly nodded and looked toward the direction of Menma and Mito, while on the other hand Minato also noticed something was off, but decided to, you could say, ignore it for now. As Menma appeared in front of Naruto in a yellow flash with a kunai in his hand as he slashed toward the direction of Naruto's neck. But Naruto simply looked towards Menma with a smirk on his face as the kunai met Naruto's neck. As Menma was confused, was this truly that easy? But to his utter shock, as kunai simply shattered into 1,000 pieces, as Menma was truly taken aback. But before he could say something, Naruto grabbed him by the face and slammed his face to his knee as a, you can say, crunching noise was heard as everyone who were previously shocked and confident that the battle was over and how Menma was gonna win. Many people were already putting bets about the young master of the Namikaze clan, but to their utter shock, Naruto not only was able to keep up with the attack of Menma, even able to shatter his kunai, and now he had already delivered an attack as Menma was truly taken aback. He was empowered by the power of the Sage Mode, as well as the Kyuubi's chakra which was running in his veins, but how easily his nose was truly shattered as he quickly grabbed his nose and started to pump more of the Kyuubi's chakra. This was the technique he had learned from the, you can say, Tsunade, even though he could not heal other people, but with the use of the Kyuubi's chakra and with the control he has learned from Tsunade, he was able to direct it to heal his injuries as he glared towards Naruto, as Naruto looked towards him with a, you can say, amused look on his face. Within seconds, Menma's nose was already healed as Menma looked towards Naruto. Alright, it is enough. After saying that, he threw a kunai in the air as it quickly started to multiply into hundreds of kunais, and now the whole stadium was covered with Menma's kunais as it started to disappear in a yellow flash all over the place. As many people were truly at awe of the scene as Menma quickly appeared behind Naruto with the Rasengan in his hand, but Naruto, not even moving from his position, simply backhanded Menma, completely destroying his Rasengan as the explosion took place. But Menma, who was pretty shocked from the whole thing, was able to teleport away as he quickly slammed to the ground. He had put up a good show, but he was still learning how to use the flying Raijin, so he was not that good at it. As Naruto looked towards Menma with a bored look on his face, "You know, little brother, you are now boring me, so why don't you show me your full power so that I can crush you and crush your hopes and dreams with it. So, show me your full power." As Naruto looked towards Menma with a smirk on his face, Menma had enough of these little tricks as he quickly closes his eyes. And suddenly, three tails appears behind him, and the fourth tail also started to appear. While in the cage box, everyone started to get tense. Even Minato was a bit confused about it. After all, Menma could control the fourth stage, but that would be troublesome, and that would be his last battle for today. After all, the injuries from it would be truly devastating. So he was a bit confused why Menma was doing this. But suddenly the four tails started to wrap around Menma. As Menma had his eyes closed, he opened his eyes and the, you can say, natural energy started to merge into it as all the tails started to surround Menma. As Naruto was a bit confused what was his stupid little brother was doing, suddenly all the chakra of the QB started to disappear, while on the other hand, a cloak started to appear around Menma as everyone was shocked when a yellow chakra was now surrounding him and he was in a cloak of yellow energy. This was the stage he was able to create. He was truly a genius, just like his godfather had told him. So, this was a technique he had developed in the Mount Miyaboku using the power of four tails and you can say using the natural energy to, you can say, completely purify the chakra of four tails and absorbing it and making this state. This was the purified form of the four tail worth of Cubis chakra. And even though he was confident that in the future he could purify all the nine tails worth of Cubis chakra, but this was the limit for today as Menma looked towards his hand with the arrogant smirk on his face. You know, Naruto, I must thank you. If you were not pushing me to push to my own limits, I would not be able to achieve this form. But this is the pinnacle of my power for now. In the future, I will even be able to use the power of full QB. But it seemed that for today, four tails is enough for you. While on the other hand, Raikage could not believe his eyes. For years, his village was considered to be the most good of the usage of the bijus. After all, both of his Jinchurikis were perfect Jinchurikis. As he looked towards B, who was looking towards Menma with interest in his eyes, even he could not do something like that. Even his biju was saying that this was truly miraculous. As Menma looked towards Naruto. Now then, I will give you a last chance, Naruto. Why don't you give up? While on the other hand, Minato was truly shocked. He never thought that he would see something like that. He was now confident that this match was over. Four tail worth of Cubis chakra, even he would be hard pressed to fight off against something like that. And Menma was able to absorb all of it and was able to use it freely. He was truly something, as Minato thought in his mind. After all, he had trained Menma for years. Well, it seemed that this would shut off the faces and the mouth of the council members, especially that Danzo and Fukaku, as he looked toward the direction where both of them were sitting like the old partners, and both of them were not exactly looking happy about the progress of the whole thing. As Minato smirked at that, as Menma said, "Alright then, let me show you the power and the might I truly have." After saying that, he disappeared faster than even the yellow flash as he appeared in front of Naruto. It is over. After saying that, an enormous amount of energy gathered in his arm as he released it towards Naruto's chest, ready to end his life. But as a blinding light, as a shockwave erupted in the center of the Chunin exam, and a blinding light quickly started to appear from it, blinding many of the people who were present there for some time, as everyone was shocked to see something like it as they quickly closed their eyes, as after some time when their eyes opened as they were beyond shock with the scene they were seeing at the moment. And in the center of the stadium everything was destroyed. Menma, who was almost like floating, who was smirking but confused at the same time as the dust started to settle down in the center of the stadium. Naruto, who had both of his arms behind his back, looking towards Menma with a bored expression on his face, as Menma could not understand it. This was his perfect form, the form he was so proud of, and how he has used most of his energy in this attack ready to end Naruto's life. After all, there was no way that his stupid brother was powerful enough to dodge something like it, and he had made a perfect attack. So why wasn't he blown off or killed off with a single attack? He was confused, beyond shock, as Naruto looked towards Menma. You know, little brother, I'm almost feeling sorry for you. But then again, with all of your hard work can bring you so far, you should have known it. After all, you're fighting someone who is perfect. After saying that, Naruto looked towards Menma and quickly, you can say, put one finger on the forehead of Menma. After saying that, Naruto simply flipped Menma as a shockwave far stronger than before erupted with a single attack as all the windows in Konoha shattered into thousand pieces as a gigantic crater was formed in the Chunin exam center. Menma, who was confused about the whole thing, as a gigantic force slammed into his body, sending him flying into the sky. He was almost launched like a rocket into the air. That single attack has shattered all of the bones in his body. If it was not of the Kyuubi's chakra who was now trying to heal him, he would have died with a single attack as Naruto looked towards Menma's body, who was now flying in the air. Well, it seemed that I put too much energy into that attack, but then again, this was the perfect form of his brother, so he should be able to handle it. After saying that, Naruto simply waved his hand and started to walk away. After some time, Menma's, you can say, unconscious body started to appear to the ground as Minato quickly gave a signal as the shinobis quickly arrived using their techniques to grab Menma. After all, this match was over. He was already unconscious, and now they quickly put Menma in the, you can say, care of the medics who tried to heal him, but they also realized the amount of damage that was caused to his body. It was truly a miracle at this point that Menma was even breathing, as all the people could not understand how this even possible. Menma was using four tail as well as the power of the natural energy, the sage mode, and how easily he was defeated. It was truly, you can say, shocking to all of them, as Kushina could not believe it. After all, it was you can say, secret to even to her, but she could feel the power. After all, she was one of the most powerful sensor, and how easily Naruto defeated it, and fear started to come to her heart. It was truly, you can say, true. Naruto was the destined one to end the Uzumaki clan. She will never ever accept it. The determination finally came to her eyes. No matter what, Naruto has to die for Menma and Mito to live, and no matter what, she will complete that mission even at the cost of her life. As she quickly nodded at that, this day has truly shown her how dangerous Naruto truly was and how much she has grown, and she must stop it no matter what. As she looked toward the seal, she was preparing for the years to subdue Naruto if he were to be ever to be a danger to Menma and Mito. Only few things are to be done about the seal, and she was confident that he could even subdue the QB. As she quickly nodded at that. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the like goal is 200 likes, 80 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. And yeah guys, please subscribe to my manhwa recap channel. The link is in the description below. With your help, I would be able to reach 1000 subscribers. So please guys, subscribe and subscribe. Peace.